Well, I think I could be a bit relaxed about it because I know that all our mixes are still doing quite well considering the competition from podcasts and free online mixes and recordings from clubs and whatever. So I didn't have that kind of financial pressure or anything because we're really lucky to have our mixes selling really well. So I didn't really have to think about that too much. But of course, us including exclusive tracks is a result of trying to compete with this free market of mixes. At the beginning, I was thinking maybe I might do a mix CD comprising almost only exclusive and previously unreleased tracks. But then again, I was a little afraid of the possibility of me not being able to make sense of all the great stuff I'm being sent, and I would have to get back to the producer saying, "Here, that's a lovely track, but I can't gel it into a coherent thing." So when my decision was clear, I wanted it to make about more personal tracks, as I mentioned before. I only approached really just a handful of guys, and my criteria for it was just to pick artists that have really impressed me recently or for a longer time already, and that's how I went on about it. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, there is not just one Berghain or one Panorama Bar. I think it went through a lot of different stages already. Like the club today is something pretty different from the club when it opened at the end of 2004, and the same goes for the period between today and when it started. For example, in the beginning, it was it was still 2004. Minimal was quite a big sound, and that was definitely reflected by the bookings, by the music DJs played there. After Minimal, I think techno and house went apart again, and became more pure in a way again. And that, of course, that if you could see that happening in the club as well. Most of the time, actually, I didn't bother with that, to be honest. This Berghain sound wasn't something we tried to actively create. That's more something that's projected onto us or the club from the outside. Of course, we play a big part in that, but I don't think that Ostgut Ton has kind of created the Berghain sound, because when you look at a DJ playing at Berghain, he's playing for 4 hours at least. So he might not play one Ostgut record at all. So that notion of the Berghain sound clearly must come from somewhere else as well. It's kind of like a two-sided thing, because on the one hand, it is kind of a vehicle, so to say. It's the one thing that stands out the most for a lot of people, and that got us a lot of attention, and which kind of helped us presenting the other producers and nuances of what we do. On the other hand, it is sometimes difficult to deal with these kind of expectations, because I've experienced that a couple of times when I was playing somewhere and people coming up to me saying, "That's not Berghain sound, that's not Panorama Bar sound," kind of neglecting the fact that I'm first of all, I'm a DJ, and then I'm a representative maybe of that club. That can be a bit difficult sometimes, but then again, I think everyone who is on a label or in a circle of artists that is identified with a certain sound has to deal with this kind of problem. Well, I think the situation remains as bad as it is, but as far as I can see, like there's a little GEMA, which is the rights copyright administration in Germany, like is slowly showing signs of maybe giving up certain issues of their tariff reform, although like at the core of it, it remains the same kind of unjust bullshit. There was this thing, if a club stays open for longer than 5 hours, another 50% of the fee would have been due. So now they're saying we might reconsider that. Maybe it's just 1 fee per night. You can stay as long as you want, but you know that's just peanuts. That's not really solving the problem. I mean, the real problem is that the way that they are distributing the money they're making, it's taking from clubs that are not playing the music. From artists to which the most of that money will be going. That's really hard to change because it's those are rules made by GEMA members themselves. You know, it's a really complicated thing. For example, within GEMA there's a huge lobby of musicians making music for advertising exclusively, and they are paid by a tariff which has been made in the 60s when there were like 10 minutes of ads on German television maybe, and today it's like 8, 9, 10 hours. And what they are doing now is like there are 2 member meetings per year, and like they're all going there by the busloads, voting to keep that rule intact, you know, which they can because they are like full GEMA members, and so they make a lot of money by maybe having 2 pieces of music on an advert on German television per year. I think another way of changing it is if everyone who is registered with GEMA should take their responsibility seriously. I mean, and make sure they get in a position where they are allowed to vote within GEMA. It's a really tough process. You know, you need to be a GEMA member for 6 years. You need to hand in this and that to prove this and that, but it's not impossible. Of course, it's really good. There's all this political and public pressure from the outside, but generally that's nothing that GEMA has to react to, because legally they are waterproof, so to say. So yeah, they either give in to because this whole thing is a massive PR disaster for them, or they just say, fuck it, we leave it like that, you will have to pay these new tariffs, and that's it. And I think yeah, one of the ways to come up with something with a fairer system would be for everyone who is registered, who is not benefiting from the system, to try to get in a position where they can change the rules. But I'm not sure if their club managements are in direct contact with GEMA. Maybe they are, maybe not. I mean, I know that in all major German cities, their clubs connect with each other and try to form some sort of lobby. You know, it's happening in Frankfurt, it's happening in Munich, it has happened in Berlin for sure, and I'm not sure what kind of plans they have and if there are talks going on or not.